Hi everyone, BBQ Kyle here, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be showing off my Satisfactory world that I've been working on Twitch. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/bbqkyle. Link will be down in the video description. So this is what I have so far after a couple of months. I've been working on this since Update 5 came out. And I figured I'll show you guys what I have. I've been actually meaning to do this video for quite a while, and I'm finally getting to it. So not all my builds look this nice. Let's start off where this world started. So this is what I affectionately refer to as Spaghetti Hell, for obvious reasons. The first build I really wanted to do in this world was a pure iron ingot factory, which you can actually see at the top of the screen in the background. But to do that, I needed refinery, so I needed to get some quick unlocks. So this was just put together sloppy and fast. And yeah, I'm not super proud of it, but I mean, it is what it is. I got the unlocks I needed. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this video is because I'm almost to the point of tearing this out and just converting this area into a giant iron mine. You can see that truck stop at the bottom of the screen. That's actually going to be permanent. There's going to be another one going in, and it's just going to be taking iron ore to the pure iron ingot factory and wherever else I need to take it. So here is the first big build I did in this world, and it's an 8-generator coal power plant. The gray building off to the left is where the pumps are. That's the pump house, obviously. In the back there, you can see a water tower, which I didn't really need, but I felt would look good. So I built a water tower. And then over to the right, you can see the building where the generators are. That is the actual power plant. And we can go take a look inside. So before we do that, I wanted to show you guys the front of the power plant. This stretch of road right here was actually the beginning of the entire roadway network. And this little underpass is how we get, or how the tractors get inside. So here is where the tractors come into the world. Got a truck going overhead. And here is where the coal gets unloaded and fed into the plant. Up there you can see the control room. And here's the view from that control room. As you can see behind me, we've got the switches that control everything. The master power switch, the output, lighting switches, internal power, and the backup generators, which I have in the next room. Now these biofuel generators are here just in case I ever run out of water and the plant shuts down or the power grid shuts down and I need to manually start up everything. These will provide power to the water pump so I can pump water to the generators to get them started up again. And here's the generator room. Nothing really special. I got the top of the generators clipping through the roof so it looks like a building with smokestacks. The water's actually piped up from the floor below to give a really clean look up here. And I know I still need to put lights in here and do some final touches, but that's actually going to be true of a lot of builds. I still got a lot of little touch-ups to finish. So here we are in the control room of the pump house. And you can see the pumps right out there. Don't know why that wall is missing, but it is. And you can see just real, simple, clean setup, 4 pumps, providing water to my coal power plant. And here's a close-up view of the water tower. Once again, I don't really need it. There's a pump down in that little shed at the base of the water tower. So this is completely useless, but I just like the way it looks. So I figured, why not add a water tower? Plus, I also really like the way it looks from the street. I think this is a great view. I think it's a great addition to the skyline that I've got going on here. And before I was even to the point of making my iron refinery, Spaghetti Hell needed more power, so I built this second coal power plant, which has 6 generators. The pump house is kind of more integrated into the building. You can see the little pump house sticking out the front. And I've got, once again, another water tower, completely not necessary, but I just think it makes it look nicer. And over here we have the first build I was really super inspired to do. This is my iron refinery. As you can see, once again, it does have a control room over there on the left side. The 3 water pumps providing water to all the refineries over there on the left. So the way I have this set up is the top 2 refineries and the bottom 2 refineries all the way on the left are one bank, the next 2 on the top and bottom are another, and so on. And that's so as my need for iron ingots increases or decreases, I can turn on or off different banks from one switch in the control room. And here's what the iron refinery looks like from the highway. The truck stop on the right is where the iron ore is dropped off. It's then lifted up those conveyor belts into that top area. And then the truck stop on the left is where all the iron ingots get picked up from. So as you might have seen in the last shot, I've got this temporary fuel delivery for my trucks that come here. This is all being conveyed from the Spire Coast to here. And hopefully soon I will have a much more, a much fancier fuel delivery system, and this fuel system can all be removed. And speaking of that janky fuel delivery system, this is where it comes from. It's just a temporary oil setup. It's making the fuel for my tractors. It's making some power, and it's also making empty canisters. And what those are for, I will show you a little bit later in the video. And before we head to the next build, I just wanted to show off this view. I think it looks kind of cool. You can see Spaghetti Hell there kind of in the center. My 2 coal plants and that giant white barn looking building off in the distance is where we're headed to next. So this is my steel factory. It's currently making steel pipe and steel beam. It is one of my more favorite builds so far in this world. Now let's go inside and check it out. So over here on the left side, we have 8 constructors that are making steel pipe. Over on the right, we have 8 constructors making steel beams. And in the back, there are 12 foundries that are making the steel ingots. And if we look up, suspended in the middle of the ceiling, we've got, once again, a control room. And from the catwalk above the ceiling, we can see the control room. And then if we look out over here, we have a nice view of the shipping area, which that truck seems to be having issues. I've got to reprogram almost all my vehicles, which I'm not looking forward to. But out there, you can see the refinery, which we'll be getting to later. But before we move on, just want to show you a quick shot of the shipping area. The first 2 truck stops are the exporting ones. The closest one is the steel beam, then the next one's the pipe, and then the 2 in the back are intaking the coal and iron ingots needed to make the steel. And before we leave the area, just take a quick look across the street. This is my latest build. It's still very much a work in progress. Still needs some design, but this is my encased industrial beam factory. Not going to get into too much detail since a lot of it may change, but just figured I'd show it while I'm here. And here is my oil field. This is behind where the iron refinery is, behind that rock that's behind it. And I've got 3 oil extractors, and they all pump oil into this little hut thing here on the right. And in there, I believe I've got 8 packagers packaging the oil to be shipped off to the refinery, which is being done by those 2 truck stops. The truck will actually come back from the refinery with a bunch of empty canisters, and we'll drop it off in the first truck stop. And those canisters are then fed to the packagers where they're used again to make oil. Then they get sent to the second truck stop where the truck will pick up the oil and take it to the refinery. So I figured I'd give you a shot of inside the packaging area. I do like the color combination of the neon yellow and the blue lights. I do need to put some blue towers out in the actual oil field. And yes, I do see that one splitter that I missed, and it's bothering the hell out of me. But I'm not gonna fix it now, I'll fix it later. Probably next time I play. But this is one of only 2 builds that are actually lit and visible from the outside, or have the lights visible from the outside. So I'll hopefully try to get a shot of this at night and insert it in the video. The only other one that is really lit up on the outside is the iron refinery, and hopefully I can get a shot of that as well. So before we go any further, I think I'll show off my small little mining fields. This one is a pure coal node, as These tractors are trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. All it is a minor truck stop, and then the one belt that's kind of going off to the top right, that is actually running to Spaghetti Hell, so that will be temporary. As soon as I get steel set up everywhere else, and I no longer need that, I will be deleting that, that conveyor. And over here, being gently molested by Jelly Bean, we've got a sulfur mining operation. This is also needed to make the compacted coal to make the turbo fuel. So again, just a real quick shot of it. And over here we have another coal mine. This one's got 2 nodes feeding into that one truck stop. And I've got a tractor running from that one to the lower one on the left. That then feeds the one up top, where vehicles can come from the road, pick up coal, and take it to wherever it needs to go. And over here we have the compacted coal factory. The truck stop farthest from us is where the compacted coal is picked up. The middle one is where coal is dropped off, and the closest one is where sulfur is dropped off and fed into the factory. This one is still also very much a work in progress, at least as far as styling goes. It is fully functional, so none of the belts are going to change, nothing like that. Probably just update how it looks. And this is what that factory looks like inside. I do have 10 assemblers working on the compacted coal, and I do like how the skylight, like, this was not planned, but really happy it worked out this way. The way looking down the assembly line, you can look up and see the water tower for the first coal power plant in the background. I'm actually really happy. I'm happy with this build. It still needs some style updates, but I think the overall shape is good, even though it's just really a square right now. I'm still happy with it. And I have definitely saved the best for last. This is my turbo fuel refinery. It has 40 generators running off of turbo fuel, supplying me with power. And then there's another generator that's burning off regular fuel. It's basically just there because the refineries you see towards the right in the middle are making heavy oil residue, and they make just slightly more heavy oil residue than the refineries that are back a little bit further can process and turn into turbo fuel. So I just have that. I have one more refinery at the end converting the heavy oil, or the heavy oil residue into regular fuel, and then it's just getting burned off. So from this angle over on the left, you can see that elevated room. That's the control room. Once again, I can turn on and off various parts of this refinery from there. Underneath that control room are 2 truck stops. One unloads packaged fuel. The other loads that same truck with empty canisters to take back to the oil field. They are then unpackaged and sent through those pipes on the left. And they go to that first set of refineries that are making resin and heavy oil residue. The oil residue is then pumped down the pipes down the sides, or the 2 sets of pipes that go up the middle, to the next set of refineries that turn it into turbo fuel. And then it flows from there to the 40 generators making turbo fuel, and this little area on the right, which is making packaged turbo fuel and using the resin to make the empty canisters. So that is everything I have done in Satisfactory since Update 5 came out. Again, if you want to see more, I do all the work I've done in this world. I have streamed live on Twitch, twitch.tv/bbqkyle. Link down in the video description. But that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more Satisfactory content, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I will see you guys later. Until next time, take it easy.